people out there who like cars. Here's some old cars, one from 1974. Here's another white one. Now walking into the old shearing shed. Oh shoot. Shearing sheep they did here. They did. Good morning, guys. We're doing a morning walk in the Flinders Ranges, as you can see behind me. How beautiful out here. Hope you enjoy this walk with me. Thumbs up. So beautiful walking. Beautiful. An Aussie nature. Walking over a bridge. Oh. We go high. Oh, great stairs. Woo. Oh, hang on. Film it. Guys, look at this place. Wow. So guys, I made it to the top. This is called the Blind Man Town. North Blind Man Hotel.
1907 and up there you would see a blast furnace and a powerhouse, both built in 1904. Considering the mine closed 3 years later, that last company spent a lot of money. They didn't make anything. When we go inside, we'll have a look at the main shaft from the inside. It was dug in 1862. The framework went up in 1870 when they found water. And I'll tell you about that as well. Does anybody do crossroads?
Yeah,
No?
sometimes.
Yeah, no, they use this clue all the time. Entrance to a mine. They want the word adit. Don't worry, it's actually wrong. An entrance is a portal. Adit is the word for tunnel. So this adit, this tunnel was dug in 1899. That was the last 10 years that the mine worked. But for the first 30 years, the only way in and out was vertically up and down the main shaft. But there was no lift. Men and boys climbed on ropes and ladders for 30 years. They were very fit people. One more thing, this is a real mine, so we need to follow the rules of any other mine. That's why we have the reason we get your country or your postcode, so we know where to send the bodies.
Oh no.
You guys have come late, so guess what? We'll just roll you in the hole. Yeah. Trauwagen. It's a beautiful. Saw above ground. So there were 5 different copper minerals came out of this mine, but at this level we only see 2. So the dark brown colour is cuprite, copper oxide. Green is malachite, copper carbonate. Copper runs in veins or pockets. So what you see left around here is not worth much, but it gives you an idea of what they were looking for. Put your lights on here. There was a big copper of copper. They've taken it out, and you can see what's left behind. So have a look here. There's no lights down here, you'll need your torches on. Watch out for the little rocks sticking out of the floor. And in a minute, if you hear a different siren, don't panic, it's not an emergency. It's just these lights will turn off to save power. We've done over a 10-year period so that we could open up the Cornish tunnels to the public. This is very spacious compared to the Cornish tunnels. They were just little people, little tunnels. And they didn't do anything like this. They were very happy that the rock was hard and stable, so they didn't put any timber in the mine at all. Today, safety standards are very different. When the engineer surveyed here, he found there's a fault in the ceiling of the tunnel. They called the ceiling the back. So here we have a crack in the back, so the timber's for your safety. Now if you have a look at how this is built, you'll see that there's no screws or nails or bolts. So this is called mortise and tenon work. It's a dovetail system. It all fits together beautifully. And one of the men in town, he learned how to do this for the project. And it's really good work. The other thing is we had to import this specially from overseas. It's a very light timber, it's very strong, and the miners say it talks to them. I've got the whistle ready. If it's talking today, I'll blow the whistle and we'll leave. But if it's not talking, we'll go that way. It's your call. Is the wood saying anything? If it creaks or groans, that's a problem, but I've never heard it. So we'll go this ventilation shaft. They call it a rise because they've dug upwards to let fresh air in. You can feel a bit of a breeze. Boys are coming from behind me, pushing their wheelbarrow, Krauwagen, Schubkarren, on the way to the main shaft. They'd stop here, they'd look up, see blue sky, get a breath of fresh air, but it'd be really dangerous because rocks could fall on their heads, so that's why the timber's here for your safety. Now if you stand in my circle just there, now look straight above your head, you'll see the sky. We had 12 mining deaths. People fell into shafts, they hit the bottom. They fell into water and drowned. They were killed from gunpowder explosions because that was dangerous stuff. Many other people died from silicosis, from the dust, and some people died from blood poisoning, but not from the copper. When they work above their head, rocks fall down. They get facial injuries, they get broken teeth. If they got an infection through their tooth into their body, they got blood poisoning, they died. They had no antibiotics. So by the time the miners were middle-aged, about 30, they had very few teeth left. If they're broken, they pulled them out to preserve their health. So it was tough work. Pop your lights on, we're going to third man holds the drill. They take it in turns. So the first man hits the drill. This guy turns a quarter turn. Second guy, first guy, second guy. They're hitting the drill at this sort of pace, drilling into the rock. Every so often they clean out the powdered rock. They use one of these. And when the hole is deep enough, about this deep, the next man comes along. He's called the powder monkey. He has a wooden spoon. It's called a powder spoon. It has a handle. It has a scoop. On his belt, he has a pouch of gunpowder. So what he does is he fills this up with powder, puts it in the hole, he tips it in. With the handle end, he bashes it in, compacts it down. He does this to 4 or 5 holes in a smiley face pattern, and then he puts a fuse in each one. So they make these fuses themselves out of paper and gunpowder. On his belt, he's got 2 more things. He's got a fuse board and a spoon. He gets a piece of paper, he puts it along here. He gets a spoonful of gunpowder, he puts it in the middle, folds it in half with a spit, then he rolls it up, and that's what comes off the end. So he puts one in each hole, he packs it in with some paper or some cloth, then he lights them. Before it goes bang, what does he do?
Runs.
No, he's not allowed to run, because if you run, you're likely to fall in a hole. And if you run with a candle, it blows out. He might do that, but he generally walks quickly, because you've got to keep your candle light. Hopefully you get far enough away, but there are lots of problems, lots of accidents. If it doesn't go to plan, the boys come with their wheelbarrow and their shovel, gather up the rock, take it to the shaft, come back for another load. And this is what they do all day long. Okay, have a look above your head.
Cool.
So the ceiling of the tunnel is called the back. So this job is called working the back, because you've gone up higher to take the copper out. They thought the copper was going this way behind me. So this tunnel took about 10 days to dig. Go in there, have a look around. You'll see a smiley face at the end. And when you come out, I'll tell you a bit more.
Because there's another
No?
go to getting some. Nothing was there.
Yeah, that's it. That's the only reason they stopped. No copper. And this would happen all the time. You're following something, becomes nothing, so you leave it. We know that this became a useful place. It became a crib room or a lunch room. Have you heard that term, crib room, before? So what a crib was to the Cornish, it was a little place. More specifically, it was a little bag made of material they wore around their neck. They can't carry anything, they're climbing ropes and ladders. Their tools are on their back, their food is in the crib. They get down here, take their crib off, find a hole, put a wooden peg in there, hang their crib from it, come back at lunchtime to eat. Now, once these guys were underground for their 12-hour shift, they did not go back to the surface for any reason. You know what that means, right? Watch where you walk, it's a bit unhygienic. No, they had a can. Have you heard the toilet be called the can?
No.
In Australia, we have many slang expressions. So the toilet could be called the loo, the dunny, the thunderbox, the john, the can. They called it the can. And we have an expression. He was left carrying the can. The last boy out, it was a pretty shitty job. He didn't want to be the last boy. So if somebody in Australia says, here, you've got the can, mate, you've got a real mess to clean up. So it's unhygienic, it's dusty, there's nowhere to wash your hands, so just eating food was dangerous. So what they ate for lunch was really important, and it was a Cornish pasty. Now, Do you know what a Cornish pasty is?
Yeah.
Do you know what a pie is?
Yes.
Pastry with meat or pastry with fruit is a pie. A pasty is pastry with vegetables. But a Cornish pasty is main course and dessert in the same thing. 2/3 vegetable with a little bit of meat and 1/3 fruit, usually apple. And our bakery makes them in tourist season. The other thing that's special is the way the pastry comes into a handle over the top, so they can hold on to it, turn it upside down and eat without contaminating what they eat. Then they throw that handle away. Now, miners are really superstitious people. They believe that all the noises in the mine are spirits of dead miners. They call them bookers, knockers, Tommy knockers. They don't think they're evil, but they're mischievous. They play tricks. So what they would do with the pastry handle is they'd leave it on the floor of the crib room as an offering. And it always worked really well, because when they got to work tomorrow, the pastry was gone. So who ate it?
The rats and the mice.
Yeah. We don't have rats here today. There's no food, but we do have mice. They eat the wiring. I give them little offerings, little blue packets. I love that stuff. That was your helmet.
So there's $1.50
Yes.
round.
Now we did want to take you to the end of that tunnel and show you the underground stope. Turns out it's not safe to go that way. The people in this tunnel have worked so high up, they've undermined the floor, so we can't go. But the Progress Association wanted you to see what the miners achieved, so we dug the second tunnel. Again, we had to shore it up. This time we've done it in the style of the 1800s using native pine, but we didn't cut trees down. These timbers were donated from ruins. We've cut them to length, because once this timber's cut, it lasts for hundreds of years. The termites don't eat it.
So that's why they look strange when you're driving around and you've just got these sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm looking at them thinking they're just not going to fall over. And that's obviously why.
Yeah, so they, because they're built into
Well,
houses?
they didn't have any, like there's no growth on them, it's just...
Oh yeah, but they used to have growth on them.
Yeah, I know, but what, yeah.
Yeah. So come on down. The work in here was done with hand tools in candlelight. They didn't have scaffolding and they didn't have ladders. So the way they work up so high is really interesting and dangerous. They're in a tunnel, chipping away, following the copper. They can't reach it, but they want it. So what they do to go up higher, they make a notch in the rock, they put a plank in there 1 metre long, and they stand on that plank and they chip away. Then another notch and another plank, like the woodcutters do. This is such difficult and dangerous work. So what they do to keep their spirits up is they sing hymns from church. So one man would start to sing, the others would join in. Sound really beautiful.